ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। Welcome to the study of Bhagavad Gita. We are looking at the second chapter, the 24th verse. Now we shall chant two verses from the meditation on Bhagavad Gita and then proceed to study the chapter. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Maha Bharatam Advaitam Ritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshinim Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. We shall now first chant the 24th verse. Achedyoyam adahyoyam akledyo shoshya evacha nityaha sarvagataha sthanuho achaloyam sanatanaha. The 24th verse in the second chapter. Achedyoyamadaahyoyam Achedyoyamadaahyoyam Akledyo shoshya evacha Akledyo shoshya evacha Nityaha Sarvagatasthānuhu Nityaha Sarvagatasthānuhu Achaloyam Sanatanaha achaloyam sanatanaha. Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna, who is worrying about the death of his kith and kin and about himself, that our soul, our true self, the Atman, this cannot be cut, nor burnt, nor wetted, nor dried. That is our self, the Atman, is eternal, nityaha, all pervading, sarvagataha, stable, sthanuhu, immovable, achalaha, and ancient. That is the wonderful quality sanatana. You might remember this word is used for something else too, sanatanaha. Our religion, Hindu Dharma, its name is also Sanatana Dharma. I'll take up that in the end and I will explain about it. Now, this verse states whatever was stated in the last verse, the 23rd verse. Now, this 24th verse states in passive voice that the preceding one says in active voice. Verse 23 declares that weapon, fire, water, and wind cannot destroy or even affect your soul or Atman. It can affect your body, it can affect your mind, it can affect your ego, but not your self which is beyond. All the present means and methods of destruction, people are finding out newer ways of destruction. So it went up to the nuclear bombs and now so many hydrogen bombs, so many things are coming up. Then after that, we are inventing newer methods. What is that? Biological warfare. Now you can see COVID and other things came from other countries. I don't want to blame any other country, but I will just give you an example. You know, on the Father's Day, the COVID virus went to the president of China and gave a flower bouquet and told Happy Father's Day. Okay, if you have understood it, that's good. Otherwise, I don't want to explain upon that. So we are finding out newer ways of destruction of humanity, of our body and of our nature and of our world. But no amount of destruction or methods, whatever you try, that cannot even touch or come near your true nature, that is yourself, the Atman. All the present means and methods of destruction known to mankind cannot annihilate yourself, that is Atman. See, this is to be felt. It is not just mere words. That is the truth. You should feel it, that I cannot be destroyed. I don't have destruction. Only when I identify with this body, ego, mind, and other things, emotions, then only I get disturbed all the problems. But my true nature is the self. We have been discussing about our quality of the true nature. And we have to identify with that. And when you identify, no method of destruction, anything of the past or the future can touch you. So, this verse, the 24th verse, reiterates the same thing to indicate the absolute indestructibility of yourself. It is not the lack of adequate weapons or methods of destruction in the present that render the self indestructible. But what is the true reason? Neither humanity nor nature can find any effective means to destroy yourself or Atman, even far into the future, because the self is above destruction. Let us take some examples. When those people identified with the self or with the Lord, how they became indestructible. The best example is few days earlier, there was full moon, Purnima, if you remember. And that day was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birthday, that day was holy. So many other things they celebrated by putting color on each other, but without knowing why it is celebrated, they went on making merry in revelry, just throwing some colors at each other, but not knowing why. Now, holy, the name itself, how did it come, this holy? It is from the name of one demoness. Why should we celebrate the name of a demoness? Holy? Her name was Holika. Who was she? She was a cousin sister or some related to one of the greatest of the demons, Hiranyakashipu. Anything, do you remember who is this Hiranyakashipu? Because of him, to kill him, the Lord Narayana had to take a very peculiar form because he had so many peculiar boons. What are they? I should not be killed in the morning or in the evening or any other time. I should not be killed inside or outside. I should not be killed by weapons. I should not be killed by man. I should not be killed by gods. I should not be killed by animals. I should not be killed by... So many peculiar boons he asked. Now, to avoid all that, the Lord had to take the form of Narasimha. So all that boons were neutralized. How was that? He killed him on the threshold. That's why people don't step on the threshold, because Lord Narasimha is sitting there. In our country, we are taught not to step on the threshold. We are asked to cross the threshold. And we are not allowed even to sit on the threshold because Lord Narasimha is sitting there. So it was not inside, not outside. It was not evening or morning, it was something very special time. And then it was not with weapons, it was with his nails, the claws, Narasimha. And he was not a man, he was not a god, he was not an animal, so Narasimha. So like that, whatever you do, the Lord will see that the bad people are killed and destroyed and the good people are protected. Now, from Holika, why did we come here? Yeah, Hiranyakashipu. Now, his son was Prahallada. He was also a demon. The son of a demon will be naturally a demon, but he didn't have demoniacal qualities. He had godly, divine qualities. So he loved and worshipped the Lord so much. His father, who was a demon, why are they called demons, Asura? Because they think a bodily pleasure, body is everything. Bodily pleasures are the goal of our life. That's why they are called Asuras or demons. That's all. They know only selfish thing to enjoy the body pleasures, nothing. So if we, human beings, think that the goal of our life is just pleasure of this body, enjoyment of the body, everything is in this body, then we ourselves become demons. If we go beyond that and there is higher than that, we are aspire for the higher aspects of our life, think of God and the Atman, and then we become divine in quality. So now this lad of 5 or 6, he was so divine, he had so many good qualities. Even though he was born in the family of a demon, he never thought he was the body. He identified himself with the Lord who was within, that is Narayana. He was so much devoted to that, he was always thinking that, no identification in the body. Now, what was the speciality of this Holika, which we celebrated? She had, with lot of austerities, gained one boon. What was that? She will never be affected by fire. So what was the shloka here? Adahyoyam akledyo shoshya evacha. Adahya means which cannot be burnt. So it took only one boon, that the body should not be burnt. That's all. So misusing her boon, the brother told, you burn this boy. I have to kill him. So she sat on a fire. She made a big fire, and that burning fire, she will sit on that. It will not affect her because she has the boon. Now the boy, she cajoled this boy, telling a lie that nothing is going to happen to you. Come, sit on my lap, and made him to sit in the fire. So she thought, in this way, I will burn this boy and kill him on the command of Hiranyakashipu. What happened? Everything got reversed. This boy who had identified not with the body, but with the Lord, what happened? With so much of devotion to the Lord, his body also was not burned, not let alone Atman. Atman cannot be touched. But even his body, because of that intensity of devotion, even his body was not touched, let alone Atman. But this woman who had identified the demoness with the body and had the boon that she will not be burned, she started burning. She shouted loudly to Brahma, "What is this? You had given a boon. Is it then false?" "No, it is true. But you misuse that to trouble the good people, good boy, the devotee. So it has got reversed." So she was killed. So then her body, with full of chemicals, it there converted into different colors. Then people saw that destruction of the evil over the destruction of the evil and winning of the good over the evil. That's why they were all happy that Prahalada was saved and the demoness, that cruel demoness, was killed. They took that color and scattered on each other. That is one of the reasons why we distribute color and other things. And in some places, in the night, they put a fire, the bonfire, the fire, they light the fire, they do the worship, and they go around it doing bhajans and all that thing. In India, you can find that. So again, that is Holika Dahana. So here, the fire couldn't touch that boy who had identified with the Lord, not with the body. And did the weapon kill him? Yes. The father wanted to crush him with the mace, cut him with the sword. The sword couldn't cut. The mace couldn't crush him. He was thrown from the cliff, top of the cliff of the mountain. The mountain couldn't crush him when he fell from that height. Live example is there in your Puranas, Bhagavatam. And then he was put into the ocean, drowned in the ocean. The ocean couldn't kill him. He came up carried by Narayana. And what about poison? He was made to be bitten by the most poisonous snakes. Nothing could touch him. So now you can see. And see all that being told here. Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha. The air couldn't dry him, the water couldn't drown him, the weapon couldn't cleave him, cut him. So even the devotee who has identified with the Lord, even his body couldn't be destroyed, let alone the highest self. Even you cannot think of the destruction of the Atman. And what about the great another child devotee, Markandeya, who has given us this Devi Mahatmyam? We are reading from that Devi Mahatmyam. It is Markandeya Uvacha, it comes. He was the son of the great couple who were rishis. They had the boon that you can get a child because they did lot of austerities. They didn't have a child, so they did lot of austerities and puja and worship to get a child. So what was the boon given to them? Yes, you will have a child. You have two choices. What is that? A child who will be long living, maybe 100 or 120 years, but useless. Maybe he will do all the vices, full of vice, and he will live long. Or else you will have a child who will be very good, he will bring a lot of good name and fame, and he will be a great devotee, but short-lived, only 16 years. What do you want? What will the mother and father choose when this is given? They thought, than a 120 years or 200 years long living bad child, a child full of vice. Let us have, even though short-lived, a good child. That was the selection. They asked Lord Shiva, let it be a short-lived 16-year-old boy who will die at the age of 16, but a good boy, a great devotee. And that happened. A child was born. Father and mother were very much worried that he will die at the age of 16. The child, while growing, could notice it. So he asked the reason. When they told the reason, he told, don't worry, mother. I'm a great devotee of Lord Shiva. I'll worship him so much that I will conquer death. He did so. At the age of exactly during 16, while he was worshipping Lord Shiva in the form of the Shivalinga, the emblem there, Yama, god of death, came to take him away. First he sent his, messengers, the Yamadutas. They couldn't even come near because of that spiritual power. They ran away. Then Yama, the god of death himself, had to come and told, come away, lad. Now the time is over. I have to take you to the nether worlds or the other worlds. So come away. Told, no, I have not finished my worship of Lord Shiva. I am not going to come. I will finish that. No, not even a second will be given by the god of death. So you have to come. So he refused. He was continued with the chanting of the name of Lord Shiva, Om Namah Shivaya, and worship of the Shiva. What happened? He threw his noose, the pasha, around him to pull his life out of the body. That noose also fell around the Shivalinga when he was pulling him there in Kailasa, because here this boy had not identified with his body. He had identified himself with the Atman, the Shivalinga, or the Lord Shiva. While he was being pulled, there in Kailasa, Lord Shiva was also being pulled. Then he got upset. You are troubling my devotee. He came there. What happened? He killed, can you imagine? Killed the god of death itself. Death to god of death. That's why it's called Mrutyunjaya. The Lord Shiva's name is Mrutyunjaya. He won over, he killed the god of death itself. Then after that he gives back the life. That is a different story. Let us not go to that. And he gave the boon to this boy that he will never die with this body. And what, will he get old? No. He will be 16-year-old young boy until no death at all. Until this creation exists, he will be living. Just like Hanuman, Chiranjeevi. So because he identified with the Lord, even his body became eternal. So there are so many such examples. And small children, they're all 16-year-old boys. Prahalada was 6 or 7-year-old boy. So it is not just some philosophy or something. You can see with examples. So that's why you can see no amount of destructive weapons or whatever the nature or human beings can produce that it can kill yourself. Now, after describing about all these things, why suddenly Krishna, from that, all these 4 elements, he suddenly jumps into the qualities of the self. After that he will tell the quality of the self is Nityaha, Sarvagataha, Sthanuhu, then Sanatanaha, then Achalaha. Why suddenly he jumped to that? Now, the above qualities of yourself, the Atman, apply equally to space. Now, can the fire burn the space? What is space? Akasha. Akasha means space. But in reality, in Hinduism, space is not that empty space, but the original matter. So all these other matters, the Akasha, Vayu means air, Vayu, Agnihi, fire, Agner, Apaha, water, Apah, Prithvi, this earth. All these are made out of this Akasha, the original matter. Now, these 4 things cannot destroy the Akasha itself. So, is our Atman like Akasha? No, you may compare, you can use it as a simile, but your Atman is even beyond that. You can't even compare. That's why when the Lord's brilliance is compared, they will tell Koti Surya Samaprabha. When Ganesha mantra or any other Narayana mantra, the Lord's mantra is told, what is that? Nirvignam kurume deva vakratunda mahakaya koti surya samaprabha. Koti surya. Millions, billions, trillions of sun, if you put together, what would be the brilliance? It is even more than that. Koti surya samaprabha of the Lord. So you can't even compare the Atman with the subtlest of the Akasha, the space or something. All these 4 elements cannot even touch Akasha, let alone Atman, which is beyond that. That's why, to show you that it is beyond even Akasha, we may think, oh, it is like Akasha or the space. So that confusion should not be there. So Lord Krishna is giving some more special qualities. The above qualities of the self also apply. That is all that it cannot be cut, it cannot be killed, it cannot be wet, it cannot be drowned, it can be dried. That self also, that qualities of the self also apply equally to space or Akasha. The subtlest of the 5 elements. Weapon cannot cut the space, nor burn the space, nor water can wet the space. nor wind dry the space. In order to distinguish the self from the space, certain other adjectives have to be included in this verse. These adjectives make yourself, again I am stressing that, yourself, your true self, the Atman, absolute. These adjectives make yourself absolute, placing it even beyond Akasha space. See, now you are knowing your nature, true nature. Slowly you are expanding, even going beyond space. So, what is the first quality told here? Nityaha, eternal. Time and space are concepts of intellect. Last time I took up a little thing about time and space and causation. This whole world is just time, space and causation. Everything, time is in your mind. In reality, time doesn't exist at all. I was explaining about time. What is time? Time is the gap between two events. Without two events taking place, there will be no concept of time at all. I gave the example of the clock in which the three hands will be there, which will be moving, the second one and the of the hour and of the minute. So you can see the second event from one this thing to another thing, it moves. So that event, then you call it second, then you call it minutes, then you call the hour. So there, the smaller one. Then you have the Greenwich timing, from where the longitude, the sun moves, the earth moves, everything. So the concept of time. So events. The earth is moving around the orbit, now around the sun. So now all that weather pattern, everything, it is time. Now here it is some season. There in India it is summer has begun, winter has stopped and summer has begun. So all this, see, it is based on time. Everything is based on time. So then galactic movements to go on expanding. So if there is no two events, there is no concept of time at all. So time is the gap between two events. So if there is no movement, so in Atman or in yourself or the Parabrahman, the infinity, there is no events taking place. So it is beyond time. You are not controlled by time. You are beyond time. That is the idea. Time, space and so you are nitya. You are eternal. You are not bound by time. I will give example for causation and also of the time. So now that is you are eternal. You are nitya. I will just tell you a humor. We generally tell that during Shivaratri, but again I will bring that humor. What is that? A teacher asks the pupil, please cite 5 reasons why Mother Parvati married Lord Shiva. Because she was the daughter of a king, Himalaya, the king of Himalayas, Parvata Rajakumara's daughter. She was the princess. Why did she marry Lord Shiva, who was a beggar, who was a mendicant, who lives in the graveyards, Mashanavasi? So why did she marry? Of all the people, there were so many other rich people, so many other emperors. Why did she marry Lord Shiva? Cite 5 reasons. So the student got up and cited the 5 reasons. The first reason, sir, Lord Shiva was chosen by Mother Parvati because you see everywhere the problem in South Africa or whichever country you go, power shortage, electricity failure. So no problem if you marry Lord Shiva, Parvati, always he has light on his head, moon is there. So no darkness, light, current problem will be solved. What is the second reason? Water problem. Everywhere water, all the mothers in the house, now the water supply, Tikwani or some other thing doesn't supply everywhere. Even in Johannesburg there is water shortage. Whichever country you go, there is water shortage. You know, they are telling that the future wars, earlier they were fighting for land and other things, cold, but now the future war will be based on water, fresh water, drinking water. That is the prediction for the future. So now, so much of water problem. So if Parvati marries Shiva, no problem at all. Ganga, there are always constant 24/7, water will be supplied. So no problem of water. So that was the second reason. Yes, third reason, see all the mothers in the houses, they have to wash a lot of clothes of their husband and the children, jeans, pant, that, and this, so much of washing, they have to do washing machine, drying it up, and so much of problem. Shiva is Gajacharmambara. He just wears lion or the tiger skin or the elephant skin. It's all no problem of washing clothes. So that was the third reason. Fourth reason is a Yogishwara. He doesn't take much food, always little, maybe some fruits or something, that too he doesn't take. He will be always in meditation, no problem of cooking. So that was the fourth reason. What was the final reason? The moment he heard the final reason, the teacher fainted unconscious. What was that? We told, the most important and the final reason is why Mother Parvati married Shiva is no mother-in-law and father-in-law problem. Because all the mothers have the problem, they don't want old mother-in-law and father-in-law house because they will be always questioning, there will be trouble. So no problem of mother-in-law. Why? Shiva is eternal. The Lord is beyond time. So now, law of causation is, how did you come? What is your cause? Your father and mother. Theirs, their father and mother. Cause and effect relationship is good. From you, your children. And from them, their children. Cause and effect. That's called causation. Everything this world is with time, causation. I will talk about the space later on when it comes. So this is causation. But Shiva or the Lord or your Atman is beyond causation, because no father and mother to Lord Shiva means he is beyond time. He is the origin. He is the Nitya, eternal. That is the reason no father and mother means he is eternal. So just to give you the concept of eternality, otherwise these are all terms, figure of speech. So it's very difficult to comprehend. So when some examples are given, it will be easy to comprehend that. So he is beyond time. He is eternal. He is the origin of everything. Nityaha. So now, eternal. Time and space are concepts of your intellect, your mind. But the self is not. The self is that which enables the intellect to conceive anything including time and space. Self or your Atman existed before the intellect. It is therefore beyond time. It is eternal. Also, this world or this universe is constituted of time, space and causation. In our scriptures, they are called in the term Kala, that is time, Desha, that is space, and then Nimitta. Nimitta means causation. Kala, Desha, Nimitta. So this whole universe is composed of these things. Time ceases along with the world. Now suppose this self is beyond the world. At the final dissolution, when there is destruction, everything ends. Pralaya. The final dissolution, when the whole creation ends. At the final dissolution of creation, the world is said to be destroyed. Everything goes back to its origin. Now, because there is no event taking place, time ceases along with the world. But yourself never. Yourself never ceases to be. Therefore, you are eternal. Even when the whole world is destroyed, you still exist. That is your eternality. You are Nityaha. Now, Sarvagataha, another beautiful quality. What is that Sarvagataha? All pervading. You are everywhere. The Atman is everywhere. There is no place or time where you do not exist. Sarvagataha means all pervading. All pervading. The self pervades everywhere and everything. It pervades the macrocosm, the external universe, and microcosm, the internal universe. It is the smallest of the smallest. It is the biggest of the biggest. What is it told in the Upanishad? Anoraniyan. It is smaller than the atom or the subatomic particle. Mahato Mahiyan. It is bigger than this universe, bigger than the biggest. Anoraniyan, Mahato Mahiyan. That is how it is expressed, and that is your nature. It is the nature of yourself. That is your true nature. So, Sarvagataha, all pervading. The self pervades everywhere. It pervades the macrocosm and the microcosm. It is transcendent. It is beyond everything, and also it is immanent. It is present in everything. It is transcendent. It is immanent. It is beyond. Okay, I will give you an example of transcendent. Okay, there is now famous TM. What is that TM? Transcendental meditation. You might have heard. Who started it? Any idea? Mahesh Yogi. So his disciples were all the famous now Ravi Shankar Guruji and all other people are his disciples. So he found that new meditation called transcendental meditation. Now here this is, see, the Atman on whom you are meditating is transcendent. It is beyond all this universe. That's why he named it as transcendental meditation. Now the person came to one of our Swamijis. His name was Swatmaramanandaji Maharaj. He was called Baba Maharaj. He was the head of Delhi Center. Told Swamiji, I want to learn transcendental meditation. Then go to Mahesh Yogi. I want to learn from you. No, I don't know transcendental meditation, but I know transdental meditation. What is the transdental meditation? So dental means, that is pertaining to the tooth. Master gives one beautiful example. What is that? Now when you get the tooth pain, now what do? You have so much of tooth pain and that pain will be always with you. You will be feeling. But in spite of that, you will be doing all the work. You will go to the office, you will go to the hospital, or you go to the college as a student, or anywhere. When you have the tooth pain will be there. Your mind will be there, but you will be doing all the other work. In spite of the tooth pain, intense tooth pain, your mind will be doing all the other works. You go everywhere. So now, likewise, you do all the work, but keep your mind on God. So that's example of dental pain is given by Ramakrishna. So I know transdental meditation. I do not know transcendental meditation. Again, that also is thought or meditation on God. So that was in a joking way it was told. So just to give you the idea, because these are all high sounding words, transcendent, transcendental. So just to get a concept of what is this transcendent means, beyond this universe. It is immanent, it is transcendent, it is within and without. It is within and without. That is transcendent. So it is your Atman, yourself is beyond everything, and it is transcendent, and also it is immanent. It pervades not only, see, we are all aware of the waking state. See, our great rishis of yore from 50,000, 60,000 years, they have penetrated such to every aspect of this universe. What is that? They are telling you, Atman, it pervades not only the waking state. Now you are in the waking state. It also pervades what is the other state? This is Jagrat, waking. What is the other state? Dream state, Swapna. You go to Swapna, even while you are awake also, sometimes you will be dreaming. When you sleep too, first you go to dreaming state. So now that is called Swapna. You will be dreaming. So even there, it pervades in the dreaming state too. And there is one more state. What is that? Deep sleep. You will not know anything. You will get up and tell, I had a very beautiful sleep. What did you experience? I don't know. Deep sleep. But even in that state, that is called Sushupti, deep sleep. Jagrat, waking state. Swapna, dream state. Then Sushupti, deep sleep state. Your Atman even pervades that three states also. Not only the waking state, not only the past, present and future, but your Atman, your true self, it pervades. See, Sarvagataha, the meaning of that Sarvagataha, see how it expands. These were all thought of by our rishis long, long back. But now the present day scientists are groping in darkness about this. Our rishis had found, just making their own mind as their laboratories, they did all this experimentation in meditation and got all these answers. So it is not only present in this present state, past and future, but it is also in the waking state, dream state, and also in the Sushupti. And there is one more beyond that. It's not called a state, it's called Turiya. That is transcendent. That is beyond everything. That is your true nature. That is the nature of God. That is the nature of yourself. So it pervades waking, dream and deep sleeps. Now, space, akasha, does not fulfill all these definitions. It cannot go to this state at all. It is only in the waking state or at the most some other states. It can't go to deep sleep state. See, akasha or space can be there in the waking state. It can be in the dream also. But sushupti, space disappears. In your deep sleep, space disappears. But Atman exists even in the sushupti, deep sleep state. So it is beyond space. It is greater than space. So that's why Krishna is introducing these wonderful qualities to show that you should not misunderstand that with the space. For instance, the individual has no awareness of space in deep sleep sushupti. Yet the self enlivens. It is enlivening. Why do you get so much of joy in deep sleep? Because of the Atman. Because of your Atman, that is infinite bliss. You are only all the space, everything is lost. It is just like samadhi, deepest meditation. What do you get that joy? That self enlivens sushupti. That's why you feel so much of joy in deep sleep. So, for instance, the individual has no awareness of space in deep sleep, yet the self enlivens the deep sleeper. Since space does not cover the realm of deep sleep, it cannot be all-pervading. So your Atman or the Parabrahman, your true self, is all-pervading. Sarvagataha. See, so much of deeper meaning is there. All-pervading means your idea is it's everywhere, that's all. You don't understand it now. You go, expand, you expand, you expand even beyond the universe. You expand even beyond the deep sleep. You expand dream state, the waking state. You see, that is Sarvagataha, all-pervading. Then a new word has been introduced. What is that? Sthanu. Sthanu. Another name for Lord Shiva is Sthanu. Sthanu means stump. The ordinary in English you can give this thing as a stump. So why is it called Sthanu? Sthanu means stable. It doesn't move, stable. And achala. No, immovable. Achala. Sthanuhu, achalaha, stable and immovable. It never changes. Stable, always stable. When people are unstable, when the materials are unstable, have some stability in your life. Call that. So it is always stable. That is sthanu. Then what is the other quality? Achalaha, immovable. Yourself, the Atman, is said to be stable and immovable. Now, movements are of two types. What is that? Two types of movement. We only know about one type of movement. You are telling two types of movement. What are they? One type of movement is within one place. You stay at one place, then you'll be moving there in the place itself. You'll be putting 108 yogasanas, sitting there at one place itself. So you are having lot of movement in just one place. The tree doesn't move. It is stable. It is immobile, the tree. But it has its internal movement. From the root, the water goes, everything, the other food material, it collects the sunlight, it does everything. When there is wind, it shakes. So there is movement, but in stable condition. So movements are of two types. So, see, we have not thought about all these things, and our scriptures has gone so deep into these things. So what is that? One type of movement is within a place. The other type is from one place to another place. A tree is stable at its base. It does not move from one spot to another, but it moves within that spot. Whereas an animal has both types of movement. The self has neither type of movement. Why? Where will it move? Where is the place where it doesn't exist? Where should it move? And what form will it move? It's everywhere, all pervading. So why should it move? We move because we are limited to certain place. We want something, so we move from one place to another place because we are limited. So now there is one more animal, a protozoan. Then don't think Atman is like that. Why? It is in the zoology you can get all that thing, or biology, or in your medical science. What is that? It's a protozoan. It is formless. How is it formless? Not like the Atman. It is called pseudopoda. What is that? Amoeba. False like the animal. It will take any shape. So don't think Atman is of that. It can go anywhere. It can move anywhere. It is not like that. But it has limitation. Though it is formless, it is not like the Atman. It is beyond that. So now, your Atman, yourself, has neither type of movement. This is because of its all-pervading nature. So you are everywhere. You are in every part of the universe. You are in every animal. You are in everything. That is your Atman. There is no place where you don't exist. That is your nature. That is your true self. See, it has to be meditated upon. You should feel that. See, then you expand. You expand from this body. You expand beyond your mind. You expand beyond your dreams. Then all these pain, the miseries are gone. You don't feel it at all. All the problems are gone. You expand and you expand. These worries, these petty things of the world will not touch you at all. That's the way of expansion. That's why Vivekananda used to tell, expansion is life and contraction is death. See, now you are expanding, your mind is expanding, you are feeling the joy. So, now, this is so because of its all-pervading nature. An object can move from a place where it is to a place where it is not. An object will move from a place to another place where it is not. The self is everywhere. Where will it move? What for will it move? There is no place where it does not exist. Therefore, it can never move. That's why it's called sthanu. Achala. That's why you always see how is Shiva represented? Like a sthanu, a linga, Shiva linga. He manifested himself like a light, pillar of light, sthanu, present everywhere. Now, the last quality given is, after all these things, nityaha, sarvagataha, sthanuhu, achalaha, immovable. The last one Lord Krishna gives about your nature is sanatanaha. Sanatanaha means ancient. Before time. The self existed even before time. Even before time, there should be some event for the time to happen. The creation should happen. Then the time starts. But it existed, your self existed even beyond time. The self, the Atman, your true nature existed before time. Time is the interval between two experiences. As I told you earlier, I explained about two events should take place for the time. The gap between that is called time. So now it is explained here in a different way. What is that? Time is the interval between two experiences. Just as distance is the interval between 2 points. See, that is space. What is space? It is the space between 2 points. Just as the distance is the interval between 2 points, time is the interval between two experiences. So, time began with the second experience. That's why maybe the unit of time is called second. What is the smallest unit of time? Second. Why did they give the name second? Because it is the second thing which came after the Atman. It is the second thing. So that's why maybe we do not know, they have named it as second because of that. So time began with the second experience because time cannot exist at the first experience. Sanatanaha. Perhaps that explains why the unit of time is called second, but the self existed even at the first experience. Therefore, it is said to be before time, ancient. What wonderful qualities we have come to know about our own self. These are all the true nature of our own self. Then why are we feeling so narrow, congested, limited, weak? Why are we feeling? Because we identified with the false things. You are identifying with this false body, temporary body. You are identifying with the bundle of characters which you have created over so many years. Bundle of memories. You are identifying with that. You are identifying with so many emotions. You are identifying with ego. That's why you are feeling limited. Slowly, slowly you have to give up that and identify with these qualities which the Lord Krishna is telling about your true self. Then you can see that will bring you that expanse, that peace, that joy, that bliss. You can feel it. So now, last time when we were telling about the time, space and causation, now we told, why do you want that we should live always together? Always we want to live all the time. We don't want to die. None of us want to die. Everybody, not only you, even the animals also. No animal wants to die. That's why they have the natural fear of death. What is the fear of death? That means I have to live longer. Fear of death means I want to live longer. Why is it? Why do we have this desire? I told you in the last session, that is because eternality is our natural quality. Living all the time is our natural nature. Now, when I identify with the body and other things, I die. The body dies. So I don't want to die. I want even with the body to live longer. Now, I'll just give an example. There was one demon called Bakasura. Asura means demon. So who killed him? Any idea who killed? He comes in the Mahabharata. He was killed by Bhima. So now the Pandavas, the 5 brothers, and Kunti, the mother, and the wife of all the 5 husbands was Draupadi. They were all in Agnatavasa, living 14 years. They had to go here and there. And the last year, I think, they had to be incognito. So they had come to a place called Hastinapura. Near that village or the town, there was one demon called Bakasura. So that demon, he was a cannibal. He used to eat all the human beings and all the animals, the cows and everything, destroy everything. So that people of that town or the village, they had an understanding with the demon. They talked to him and told, please don't kill randomly. You want food, isn't it? Instead of killing so many people, we will send everyday food to your place. One human being with a cartload of rice and sambar or whatever, all the dishes, and 2 bullocks will come to you. So you can eat the 2 bullocks, you can eat the man, and you can eat all the rice and all other preparation. Do not kill every one of us. So they had an understanding. The demon told, okay, why should I go to hunt and do all that thing? I'll sit at one place, everything will come to me. So the Bakasura was very happy. Every day they were sending one human being with the bullock cart and 2 bullocks and all the food, with full cartload of food. So that was his capacity of digestion. It's so much of hunger. So he could eat cartload of food. And not only that, his hunger would not appease that human being and also the 2 bullocks. That was his intensity of digestion, capacity of hunger. So that's why one of our senior Swamiji used to tell, some of us have that power of digestion. So to explain it, he has gastronomical power of astronomical proportions. So gastronomical powers means digestive power of astronomical proportions. So likewise, this Bakasura had gastronomical powers of astronomical proportions. He was eating so much. Now, one day, it was the turn of, they were living incognito in one Brahmana's house. That lady was a widow, Brahmana lady was a widow. Husband had passed away, she had only one son. So she was crying. It was the turn for his son to go there and set himself as a sacrifice to the demon with that cart and the bullock. So the mother, widowed mother, she doesn't have a family, she was crying. Then Kunti Devi told, mother, why are you crying? She told the reason, don't worry, I have 5 sons. So instead of your son going, I will sacrifice one of my son. He will go there. You don't worry, I will save your son. So whom did she send? She sent Bhima, most strongest person. He was the younger brother of Hanuman. Because Vayuputra, again, he is also Vayuputra. He was next only to Hanuman in strength, Bhima. So he was sent. So he went with the bullock, 2 bullocks, cart of rice and everything. He had also a lot of digestive power. So he ate all the cartload of food and everything, sambar, everything, but he was not a cannibal and he was not a eater of the cow. So he ate only all the food and everything, and he was belching, making sounds there, burping, and this fellow came. He didn't have food to eat. He was so angry. So now this Bakasura, who has the capacity now to eat so much of food, you give him 1 cup of buttermilk. What will happen to him? To eat, to quench his digestive system. You give just 1 cup of buttermilk. What will happen? His hunger and anger will increase. Likewise, you are of infinite nature, infinite happiness, infinite bliss is your nature, your natural identity. And if you are given a small life, you are given a weak body, you are given small enjoyment, that's why you suffer. That is the suffering. Why do we suffer? Why do we feel all these things? Because your nature is infinity. You are eternal. When you have seeing that your body doesn't last long, it is dying, you don't want to die, you want to live eternally because your nature is eternal. You are Nitya. That's why you don't want to die. That's the thing we explain. Everybody wants to live a day longer. From that it is very clear, mortality is unnatural to your Atman, to yourself. And what is natural to me and you and everything? You are Nitya, always living. I'm ever there. What a great relief. I'm always there. I'm always everywhere, eternally living. Even though other people may not like it, let us not worry about it. Now the next we see is Sarvagataha. Not only I'm eternal, I'm also all pervading. Not bound by, see now, earlier, eternal is I'm not bound by time. I'm beyond time. Now, Sarvagataha means I'm not bound by space. I told you what is space? Between the gap between two objects is called space. Interval between 2 points is called space. But now you are all pervading. You are everywhere. You are not limited by space. You are beyond space. You are transcendent. You know, you can understand your nature. You are not bound by space. I am, that is, you are timeless. You are spaceless. You are boundless. See, they tell that quality, boundless. You are timeless. You are boundless. I am beyond time. I am beyond space, and therefore you are Sthanaho. Sthanaho means changeless. Because you are not bound by time, you are not bound by space, then that means you are changeless. That is Sthanaho. What is meant by changeless? Yeah, we will go to that. In fact, everything in this creation is tortured and changed and made out of shape. By what? By time. You were a small baby when you were born. After the next year, you grew up. Next year, when you were they putting you to the crush, you grew up again. In the primary, you grew up. So over time, you are changing. Everything is changing. That change was very good. You welcomed that change. But after 50, everything is changing, but you don't want that. That's why you suffer. As a baby, we were all nice to look at. Now, we are getting out of shape. Where it should be broad, it is becoming long. Where it should be long, it is becoming broad. All out of shape. All gone out of shape. We try our best to bring back to our shape. We go to the gymnasium, we go to the beauty parlor, we go there, here and there to the doctor, the dietitians. Why? To bring back our shape. And to bring back our color of the skin. Color of the hair changes. The hair itself disappears. The teeth disappears. What is causing all this? Time. Time is causing all this. Everything is changing because of time. But now, note that you are beyond time. You do not change. You are Sthanaho, that you don't have change. That is the quality. Sthanaho means you are changeless. So if you are Nityaha, that means time cannot bring out any change, and therefore I am Sthanu, changeless. That is your quality. Sthanu means ever the same. Ever the same. You don't change. See, that small child, Markandeya, ever remained the 16-year-old boy. No death. Even now he lives, Markandeya. Chiranjeevi. Chira means again eternal. Jeevi means he lives. Even now he lives. Hanuman, Chiranjeevi. So that is changeless. He is always young. So then what is Atman called? Another this thing, beautiful name. So you are Nityaha, the time cannot bring out any change in you. Therefore you are Sthanuhu, means ever the same. Then Sthanuhu means Sarvataha Tishtati iti Sthanuhu. One of the name of Lord Shiva is Sthanuhu. Some persons have the name also Thanu. Whatever that might be, we will go to the next aspect. Achalaha. What is Achalaha? You are now, first was you are not bound by time. Now you are changeless. Since I am not bound by time, you are also not bound by space. I am motionless. Achalaha means you are motionless. Achalaha. Because only a limited entity can move from one place to another. Atman cannot move or does not move. It doesn't need to move from one place to another because it is everywhere. Sarvagataha. Now you may tell, Swamiji, you come from your room, you came from India, you are moving. Yes, as a body, I am. But as Atman, I am there, I am here, I am everywhere. And it is the same with you too, that is your true nature. So as body, you are Anityaha, you are not Nityaha, you are Asthanu, you are Achalaha, you are moving, etc. All those are there. But as your true nature, Atman, you are free from all of them. And therefore, you are Sanatanaha. What is Sanatanaha? Ever fresh. That's why the Atman or the Purana which declares about God, what is called Purana, meaning of Purana? Purana in Sanskrit means Pura api nava. Even though it is old, it is new. Ever fresh. Purana means Pura api nava. Even though it is old, Pura, it is still new. That's why you called old is gold. So your nature Atman is, even though you are the oldest, you are the prime first, even then you are fresh. That is called Sanatana. Sanatana means ever fresh. Your nature is ever fresh. Early in the morning, when you get up, you are fresh. Afterwards, you get fatigued. By the time you come back to the house, you are too tired. No, you are ever fresh. That is your true nature. That's why Hinduism is called Sanatana Dharma. I told you I'll come to that. I've almost finished my time, but even then I'll explain this Sanatana Dharma. Why is Hinduism called Sanatana Dharma? Because Hinduism, our religion, deals with only two topics, two main topics. What is that? The first, entire Hinduism, it's called Sanatana Dharma because it deals with only two topics. What are they? In the beginning, Veda Purva, beginning of the Vedas, it deals with righteousness, Dharma. The end of Vedas is called Vedanta or Upanishad. What does it deal? It will deal with Brahman, God, the infinite God. That is your self, the Atman. So at the end of the Vedas, the Hinduism deals with your true nature or Parabrahman or God or Atman. In the beginning, it deals with Dharma, righteousness. So what is that? Purva Bhaga of the Vedas or Hinduism talks about Dharma. Uttara Bhaga, the later end, talks about Brahman, God. That portion dealing with Dharma is called religion. Dharma means righteousness. That portion dealing with Brahman is called philosophy, Upanishad, whatever. Religion deals with Dharma, righteousness. Philosophy deals with God, Brahman. And both do not change at all. Will righteousness or dharma change? Will ahimsa, killing somebody, is right or good in this country or in any other country? No, ahimsa, non-hurting or non-troubling anybody, is the virtue, whether in this country or whether in any other loka, that is the same. Righteousness is the same. Telling a lie is bad in that country, not here. Is it true? No. You should be always truthful. Wherever you go, that still stands. So righteousness is the same. It doesn't change wherever you go. That's why it is Sanatana. Religion deals with dharma, philosophy deals with Brahman God. Both do not change at all. Values are ever the same. Ahimsa is a value for which century? Whichever, 10 BC or now or AD or Anno Domini, wherever you go. What is the law? I do not want anybody to hurt me. Therefore, I should not hurt anyone. I want everybody to tell truth to me. Therefore, I should tell the truth also. Satya, Ahimsa, they are all called Dharma, righteousness, which is Sanatana. So finally, to tell you that all these qualities, beautiful qualities, is Sanatana. Whatever that, what you call causation, it will come back to you as you do. That is change at cause and effect. I'll just tell one small incident and stop my talk. What is that? I think in our AGM I told this, and even the same thing in a different context I told it in Itete for Master's Jayanti. Now a school will have a headmaster. He called the photographer to his chamber. Some of you were in the AGM, so you know that. But again, you can laugh with this story. So a headmaster called a photographer to his chamber and asked, how much will it cost to get a group photo for the 7th grade children, because they are now going out of the school to other higher school. So now we have to have a group photo. So what will be the cost of each group photo for that session? The photographer, though he knew it costed only 5 rands, he told 40 rands, because he was greedy. He told every student has to pay 40 rands, not to the whole thing. It is each photo will cost 40 rands. The headmaster asked again, the children studying in this school are poor, and he said he would pay only 20 rands. The photographer agreed to this, because yet he is going to get another 15 rands profit. So he is happy, because the cost was only 5 rands even with the profit. He is now getting 15 more. So he is happy. He agreed to this. Now the headmaster called the class teacher and asked the class teacher, there will be a photograph session, collect from the student, all the student 40 rands. The photographer told 20 rands. The headmaster told quality, because he can pocket that 20 rands. Okay. Now the teacher went to the class and he told, my children, now everyone for the photo session you should bring how much? 50 rands. He had to pocket another 10 rands, the teacher. Now the students went to the house. They went to the mother, because if you go to the father you may get scolding. So first to the mother. Mother is a little kind. So they asked the one of the student went to the mother and asked, mother, there's photograph session there in our this thing. We have to buy group photo. So the teacher has asked us to bring 100 rands. Now the mother told, I don't have so much of money now. I will ask your father, wait, let him come in the evening from the office. I will ask him. So the husband came. He told, see, there is a photo session, the child's school, so we have to give 200 rands. He will give 200 rands. And that husband fainted, unconscious. Why? He was the photographer. So see, cause and effect relationship, causation, this is called karma. Whatever you do will come back to you. That is called causation. So this whole universe is time, space and causation. So if you have to go beyond this universe to your true nature, Atman, you have to go beyond time, space and causation. Whatever you do will come back to you. See, in this example, we came to know about causation. So in future, we will study about this more deeper and deeper, so that you can get an idea of your true nature, Atman. We'll stop our discussion now. by chanting one of the meditation verses of Bhagavad Gita. Om Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangham Langhayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Paramanandamadhavam. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.